Peace to everybody. Peace to everybody. With a lot of things going on in the world as of right now, people are focused on Black Friday, which is today, and Thanksgiving, which was yesterday. Some of the basic things people need to know about when it comes to Thanksgiving. All right. Some people say, yes, we understand that it was a massacre of Native Americans. OK, with the people you call the Pilgrims. These people were the separatists. These are the ones who wanted to separate from the crown, the royal family in Europe, who wanted to establish their own state and territory, who wanted to practice their own religion, do things their own way. So they did that. And when they came here, we're referring to in the 1500s, you have to know about the diseases that were spread by the Europeans. You must know about that. In the 1600s, 1637, 1630s, you must know about Captain John Underhill. You must know about the Pequot Massacre. The Pequot Massacre. I'm not going to do a long lecture on it. Like I said, I'm just going to do this video maybe 10 minutes, because if you are still not paying a level of respect to at least understand what happened to our brothers and sisters who are Native, then we can't turn around and demand that someone respect us for what happened to our ancestors. While yesterday many people were eating all across the place, and when I say eating, I'm saying running around saying happy Thanksgiving. Okay, because we eat every day. Most people eat every day. But the happy Thanksgiving, running around saying that, happy Thanksgiving. For many people today, the excuse is, well, listen, Reza, look, man, we're going to change this around and say we're celebrating family. We're celebrating coming together. We're celebrating the beauty of life. Okay, that's dope. I'm 100% for that. But why don't you do that every day? Why don't you spend time with your family as much as you can, at least once a week or twice a month, etc.? Why do you wait until the very day, which is the anniversary of 90? This is when 90 men, the first contact. Okay, and I spoke with a descendant of the Pequot Nation themselves. I spoke with some of the natives themselves about this. This is not something that I learned in a history book. This is not something that I learned from a documentary. This is something I learned from the descendants of the actual tribe that made first contact with these separatists, or what people refer to as the Pilgrims. There was no turkey at the first contact. At this meeting where they ate, there was no turkey. It was 90 men. Now you have to deal with what is called the Massasoit. Massasoit, yeah, is how you pronounce it. 90 men, one woman, or the natives will call her a warrior woman. They brought 5 deer. 5 deer. No turkey. Okay, no turkey. They were not just powwowing like that, but the native people, just like how we are as original people, we're very loving. We're very open. We welcome people with open arms. We welcome people with peace. This is what we do. And many times it has been to our detriment. We have allowed the wrong people to come into our environment, the wrong people to come into our village, into our territory, into our neighborhoods. We have done this for a very long time. And when that happened to our native brothers and sisters in the 1500s, and we're talking about after 1492, after Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand sent out Cristobal Colon, also known as Christopher Columbus, to set voyage to the new land, where he stopped all throughout different parts of the world, etc. You have to know what really happened, because it was a slow genocide through disease. Then it was massacres. Then they put it in official government declarations. Abraham Lincoln is the one who made Thanksgiving an actual holiday. Prior to that, again, Thanksgiving is the statement of the celebration. of killing the Pequot people. The Pequot Massacre in the mid-1600s. This is the name of it, the Pequot Massacre. So when you say Happy Thanksgiving, this is what the white Europeans were saying after they massacred the native people. It was Happy Thanksgiving for them. It was a victory for them. It was a celebration for taking the land, killing the people. So it's not a happy Thanksgiving. And yes, Pequot is spelled Pequuot. So while yesterday people all across the country were eating food, were saying Happy Thanksgiving, yelling up and down, oh, Happy Thanksgiving, all of this stuff, the native people were having a day of mourning. A day of mourning. They wake up early in the morning at dawn. They have their ceremony where they pray and meditate on the ancestors and meditate in remembrance of what happened to their people. They go and hunt buck or male deer. They chop up deer meat. They burn sage and tobacco and incense, and they spend their day or around this time. Some of them spend an entire week. Some of them spend 2 or 3 days just remembering what happened to their ancestors who were slaughtered at this time. So I didn't want us to just celebrate this time and say, hey, it's about family, it's about this, when it's like, no, you're supposed to be celebrating your family as often as possible, not just when the white man allows you to. Not just when the white man allows you to. Okay? We're not supposed to just celebrate things when the white man says it's okay. When I say the white man, I'm saying this system, this government, the city you're in, the state you're in. Stop relegating your love, your appreciation, your trust, your joy, and your happiness to a day that was made by someone else when that day was specifically the anniversary of a group of people being murdered. Your people, my people, our people. That is what you should know about. The documentary that everyone should see that specifically talks about the first contact with the Europeans here is called Still We Rise. Still We Rise. Pardon me. Actually, wait a minute. The documentary that everyone should watch, which talks about this in detail, the full documentary, which has those from the bloodline of the Pequot people, is called We Will Remain. We Will Remain. Not Still We Rise. It is called We Will Remain. The other name for it that is on YouTube is called After the Mayflower. After the Mayflower. So on YouTube, the documentary is called After the Mayflower, but the actual documentary is called We Will Remain. It's talking about the native people first having contact with the Europeans, and it goes into full detail about it. Total detail, things that you've never heard before, things that I never heard before, until after talking to the people directly, to the native people directly, and it's like the horror that they went through. It's like it's horrific. It's like it's terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's like, man, I'm telling you, it's the only thing I had in my mind was, what if every year when we were, let's say 1921, Tulsa, Oklahoma, what if every year the whole country would celebrate the massacre that happened in 1921 in Tulsa, Oklahoma? What if the whole country, people were saying, I don't know, happy Thanksgiving in remembrance of that day, but we didn't know about it. Let's say let's say we knew about it, but everybody else didn't know about it. So they're celebrating our businesses being burned down, our mothers and fathers being murdered in cold blood in Tulsa, Oklahoma. But we're mad, but everybody else is celebrating it, saying Happy Thanksgiving in remembrance of Tulsa, Oklahoma being burned down. You get what I'm saying? We wouldn't like that. We would actually be so pissed off. All of y'all saying Happy Thanksgiving, but this is the day where our people were murdered in Tulsa, Oklahoma. like we were slaughtered. We were, come on, man. You know, and let's say everybody in America was like, but look, hey, man, we're doing this. You know, we're celebrating family. You know, we're celebrating, you know, coming together and all that. And you're like, yeah, but why can't you do that on another day or at another time? You're doing it on the exact day, in the exact time when we were murdered and slaughtered. It's like, it's crazy. It's really crazy. It's like, it's crazy, man. I recommend, again, everyone watch the documentary called We Will Remain, aka After the Mayflower. When I went to Standing Rock, North Dakota, and I was on a native reservation. And to all of my brothers and sisters who say, well, Reza, we are the Native Americans. Yes, you are absolutely partly correct. I myself am 2 parts Native. Yes, we're family. So that means we really should be feeling that. Let's not dismiss someone else's pain. Let's not do that, because we want people to care about our pain, but we don't want to consider someone else's pain. That's not, I don't find that fair. I don't find that fair. Last thing I'm going to say on this is, when I went to Standing Rock, North Dakota, when I was on the reservation with my sister Yanajdaha, Queen Yanajdaha, Lone Wolf, when I was there, I sat with the natives. I ate buffalo meat with them. I was on a peace pipe smoking ritual with them. I didn't smoke it, though. Don't get it twisted. Your brother didn't smoke it. Even though I understand that's the tradition for them and it's not a negative thing for them. I understand. But I still didn't smoke because that's just not, you know, I still maintain my belief. You know, so I didn't smoke. But I did cover, you know, myself in the scent, you know, and honor as far as a spiritual covering. I understand that. I didn't smoke it, but I was a part of that. Right? And I was there with them. I stood in the line of over 500 tribal nations. The tribal flags. I was outside looking at all of the tribal flags. I was honored to bring the flag of the Nation of Islam to be flown next to over 500 native tribal flags. Natives came from Australia. Natives came from the Philippines, from Canada, all throughout the United States. And I was there with them. So it's kind of like your brother has more of a deeper connection because I personally have been with them. That's the other difference. Some of us don't know what it feels like for them, what they've gone through, because we don't ask questions. We don't talk to people. We just sit here and everybody got to pay attention to our suffering, even though most of us don't even give a damn about our suffering. We talk about our own people worse than some other people talk about us. But I'm telling you, when I went to Standing Rock, North Dakota and stood with them, it was a completely different feeling. So my point is, the Thanksgiving so-called holiday is not something that you should take lightly and just be like, look, man, don't trip, Reza, it's all good. No, it's really not. And if you're so disconnected to your own people's pain, it's easier for you to be disconnected to anybody else who experiences pain because you don't give a damn about your own. It's very easy. It's just something I want everybody to understand and to just look at. That's all. Just look at it, man. We black folk. We original people. We really are. You know, and just to clear up that last point, I'm not referring to the $5 Indians, because there are white people who paid $5 back then to put their name on what is called the Dawes Rolls, the list of those who are natives so that they can receive reparations as native people for what this government did to them. So a lot of white people today, who are really, really light skinned, claiming to be native, are actually white folk. So let's not get that twisted. They are called $5 Indians, but the ones who I was with are not $5 Indians. I just want to make that very clear. Brother Reza Islam, I'm Cape Verdean, West African. Yes, I'm also 2 parts native, 2 different tribes. Yes, that I am. Collectively, I'm a black man, born and raised in Compton, California, but I'm not going to dismiss the pain of somebody else. So let's just be fair. If I want them to care about what happened to my people, then I have to at least identify and acknowledge that something happened to theirs. Simple as that.